strategies to help you build and maintain a successful real estate on social media. You're welcome to join in and chat any questions that you have. In today's class, we'll be going over social media musts for every new agent. We'll talk about a lot of good stuff, so you're going to want to take notes as well. Content types that you should be creating to dominate your local markets, tactics to optimize on every single post, and rules to strengthen your presence on social media, as well as best practices for social media. We'll talk about the do's and don'ts. I'm going to share some mindsets for success, as well as you all know, I'm a book fanatic, so I have a recommended read for you this month, and we'll make time for questions and answers. And I also have a video to share with you by one of the top social media experts, Katie Lance. So I'm a huge fan of hers, so I've handpicked a video for us to watch towards the end of today's session. So today's expectations is the same for all of the master classes that I host. Is I ask that you take notes, interact by asking questions, maintain a growth mindset, create an action plan of items that you're going to implement into your business, and commit to implementing at least 3+ ideas. So we're going to go over a lot today. You're going to want to take notes or even take pictures with your phone, but there's some good content in today's session. So never understand the importance of your brand and having a strong online presence. I always say social media is, to me, I equate social media as a room full of people waiting to hear what I have to say. And if I don't interact well with them and I don't play the rules right of good engagement, then they're not going to really either want to hear what I have to say, or they won't even see what I have to say. So we'll get into that when we talk about engagement. So the first topic is social media musts for every new agent. If you're a new agent, this is definitely some content that you're going to want to take notes on. And again, as I said, ask questions if you have any. So the first thing, this takes me back many years, is to designing your brand and deciding really what you want to be known for. What 3 qualities represent what you bring to the table as a person. And you might think, well, geez, as a new agent, how do I know that? So this really comes down to knowing yourself as a person and looking at yourself in past jobs. What characteristics really helped you shine as a person in other jobs. And then some qualities that you might want to consider, perhaps that might resonate with you, are 5-star representation. And again, if you haven't been in real estate, did you provide or represent someone else in another capacity in another job, or help someone achieve a goal? Is loyalty something that resonates with you? Being a fierce advocate, being fair, having market knowledge, compassionate, and commitment. So market knowledge perhaps might be that you grew up in this town. And so, now knowing the area and having access to the MLS that provides you with market knowledge. So here's something that, as you grow your business and you grow your brand, I would highly, highly, highly encourage you to get a professional headshot taken. As someone who looks at design social media pieces all the time, and has need to go into the Lair website to search for people's headshot as I design pieces for listings. It does surprise me a little bit to see how many agents still don't have a professional headshot. So really equate this back to any business. Would you do business with somebody that didn't have a sign? You wouldn't know. So really think of your headshot as your sign, sort of like your logo, only a bit different, but it should resonate with the characteristics and qualities that are really authentic to you. So these are 4 headshots that I have handpicked that I think speaks volumes to me. And I love every single one of them. Just Preventure. Is she like the most amazing ball of energy and fun and goodness? So in that headshot, that the first one on the left top is Jess Provencher in our Bow, New Hampshire office. An awesome headshot. I absolutely love this. Next to her on the right is Sarah Lyman in our Athol office. This speaks volumes to her journey and who she is as a person. I absolutely love it. Down on the left is Erica Pizente in our Framingham office. And her handle on social is At Home with Erica, right? So this is a very like welcoming, I'm at home. I love it. And then who do we have on the bottom right? Mike Lee, full of personality, great guy. And you know what? I haven't even met Mike Lee, but I know this about him because of his presence on social media. So we're going to talk a lot more about the connection and what you get from people just on social. So this is Mike Lee's headshot, and full of personality. It really resonates with who he is. So, you know, as you book your headshot, give some thoughts to the poses that you can tell the photographer what you're going for in your look. And you know, whether you're laid back, fun, you want to command respect, professionalism, confidence. But like I said, maybe you're a little goofy and laid back and fun, and you want to throw that in the mix too. So your headshot is really your open for business sign, right? So, and you want to use your headshot on your social media channels in the photo section, not your logo. You're not a company. You're an individual, and this is who you are. And you don't want to use your full body shot in that your social media pages either. You want people to see you, the close-up you. So definitely get a professional headshot is my first tip here. But my second one is, before you book it, give some thought to the location and background of it, and the type of, message you want your headshot to say about you. And look at these rock stars. They are amazing. So, and they own their headshot. I just love these headshots. So take a look at them for a second with me, because I just adore them. But whatever qualities are authentic to you is what you should resonate with you. Those qualities should resonate in your headshot as well. And then consistency. Make sure your headshot, whatever one you're going with, it should be used across the board on all of your social media accounts. Your personal is different. I mean, whatever you want to use on your personal, but your business pages on your social media. But also take the time to upload this headshot onto your Zillow, your Realtor.com, your Yelp. Make sure Layer has it so that they can put it on your webpage. And then also your website. Make sure it's uploaded into MLS. And here's a tip for you. You should create a phone contact with your information on it. So you should upload your photo, your name, obviously, and then the brokerage, your website, your phone number, all of your social media links should be on it. But it should say, for instance, Renee Tompkins, Realtor. That way, whenever you meet somebody at an event, and perhaps maybe you've run out of business cards, or you don't have one, or you simply don't use them because some people consider business cards old school, you now have an opportunity to forward your contact information right over. So you just search for Realtor, and that's what you say to them. Oh, if you happen to forget my name, which you don't think you will, but if you do, just search for Realtor and I'll come right up in your phone. So it's a quick tip for you. Next up is writing your bio. So your bio is biography. It should be brief yet authentic. It shouldn't be something canned, stuffy. It should be authentic about you, what inspired you to get into the business and what someone can expect as a result of doing business with you. Yes. But also share like a memorable, authentic story, a moving moment, if you will. And then always end it with a CTA, which is your call to action, inviting people to reach out to schedule a time to talk about their goals. And if you really struggle with writing stuff like this, Layer's AI feature in the Layer Agent Services, it's linked under tools. Certainly check that out. It's amazing. And I would also recommend that you write your bio or have the AI write your bio in first person. This is a more relatable, authentic way for people to get to know you instead of told in third person where Renee was born in Somerville, Massachusetts. And, and that's another way to go. But I do believe bios told in first person are just simply more authentic and relatable. So I would highly recommend doing that. You're getting close to setting up your pages. One thing I do want to mention that's not in here before we get to this is also a logo. Your logo would be used on your social media pieces, not as a profile page picture. So these are logos would be used as a, next to the Layer logo, or in place of, if you have a team logo or you want to design a personal logo, you can simply do that either through Fiverr. You can hire somebody to do it for you, or you can do it through Canva. There's many logo options to use in Canva. So, but now that you've done all this, you're really sort of ready to get your pages set up. But here's a key thing to keep in mind is you got to decide what social media networks you even want to be on. And I say this really because if you don't, social media is all about engagement. If you really want to build your audience and build your business on social media, you've got to be engaging. So if you don't really like to be on certain social media channels, then don't bother setting it. Don't get on them just for the sake of. You really have to enjoy being on them because you're going to need to spend time on them and being purposeful and intentful in building your business. So again, consider what social networks you actually enjoy being on. But I would say one caveat here is really think about maintaining a growth mindset too, and stepping out of your comfort zone, meaning that, if you are a Facebooker for life, that's where you enjoy being on, then great. You're going to build your business there. But I would encourage you to then give Instagram, or if it's reverse, if you truly enjoy being on Instagram, again, a lot of people are on Facebook too. So maintain a growth mindset with that. But if there's a specific social media channel that you just simply know that you want no part of, then, as I said, don't develop pages on these sites just for the sake of, because nobody's sort of minding the store, so to speak. So it's sort of useless. But the ones that you do enjoy, absolutely. And here are some popular sites to consider: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So I'll be very honest with you. I'm not a good Twitter person, so I don't go on Twitter. Don't really hang out on LinkedIn all that much, but I do know Facebook, Instagram, and I'm developing and growing on YouTube. So those three are where I want to house my business, and I'm committed to making that happen. But give these sites some consideration. And then also, although not social media sites, you do want to take it a step further. And this is sort of like a Saturday at home before, your business gets nutty, because it will. You want to also consider setting up accounts on Yelp, Zillow, Realtor.com, HomeLight, and Google Business. So Google Business is something you set up directly through the business app, through your G Suite, and you have to register the business. They send you a postcard with a code on it, and then you set up your business page. But this is very specific for, people Google search all the time, and so I would definitely recommend having a Google Business. Yelp is another one of those sites that are important for people who look for reviews, as well as Zillow and Realtor. So, I have Yelp down there twice. Anyway, okay. All right. And one more thing, I can't stress this enough. Everybody gets Canva for free. It's one of those amazing design platform sites. It's the preferred platform that I use at Lair to design the social media pieces. So everyone gets that for free, but the upgraded version of Canva Pro is worth every penny and way much more. I mean, it's amazing. So, and these things are tax write-offs. So think about, as you are building your business, especially if you are those newer agents that are listening right now. Another tip that I would give you, and this is to meet with an accountant and to find out as you're building your business about taxes and write-offs. But that aside, definitely consider upgrading to the Canva Pro. What you get in the Canva Pro is so much more. And it will allow you to easily edit the pieces that I send out, Sergio sends out every week for your marketing. So definitely, I can't stress this enough. Two things. If you get two things out of today's class, is to get a professional headshot and upgrade to Canva Pro. But I hope you take a lot more good notes. All right, let's talk about you're a new agent and you're thinking, gosh, I got no reviews. And this is something that I know is so important to building confidence in people who are going to be reaching out to me. So, you definitely never want people to say they have hired you as their real estate agent if they haven't. I'm not talking about doing that at all here. This is just simply asking past coworkers and people that know and trust you and want to see you succeed. Talk about your character and work ethic as a person. So, and then share these reviews on social media. Again, we're not saying these people should say that they're working with you as a realtor unless they are. And there's another review that you could have. If you are working with people, but you just haven't closed them yet, you could ask them to help you out and share, their experience. How has it been? And even better, oh my God, my mind is about to blow right now. Get it on video, right? Like that, and those things can be repurposed, and oh my gosh. Anyway, but that is a way to go in order to build confidence through reviews where you haven't closed any business yet. They could be reviews simply of who you are as a person and your character and work ethic. So those are a way to go, and please share them on social media. And can I say another thing, even if you are experienced or a newer agent and you've got reviews, or maybe they're just, those amazing ethic and character reviews, don't share them once and be done with it. Continue to repurpose your old reviews. Keep the reviews, every, client testimonial Tuesday, whatever you want to call it, but every so often, however, many reviews you have to recycle through, keep posting them. It's amazing how impactful reviews can be to your business on social media. Another thing is getting followers. You might have, say, 300 friends on your friends list, but you've got to build that up because maybe your professional page just says 40 likes or whatever. So a way to do that, and I was doing that recently as I start my own brand here, is message your friends on everybody on your friends list to help support your business by liking and following your page. Here's the thing. You have an option through Facebook to go into your professional page, your business page, and then invite people that way. Don't do that. It is much less effective and it's cold. So I would take the time to write up a really heartfelt script in an email first, so you can just copy and paste it and then replace the name of the person, but make it, how are you? How's everything going? Wanted to check in and see how's your springs going so far. By the way, I'm hoping I could ask you for a quick favor. I'm looking to build my brand on social media and would absolutely love it. It would mean so much to me if you would take the time to support my business by following me on social media. Here are links to all of my accounts. I would love to connect, and let's have coffee soon. So rarely will somebody say no to that, right? I will say I did that as a way that I'm growing my own pages, and everyone was so gracious. So I asked them personally. I didn't send out just a, hey guys, can you like my page? One of those posts, or I didn't do it through the page. I took the time to message people individually. How are you? How's your spring going so far? So I was, it was authentic. And here's another thing. Don't do that more than, say, 25, maybe 30 times a day. So you're going to need to keep track of who you emailed or messaged rather on social media. But I'll send all your links. So it's easy. So you're not then, 3 months later, oh, I'm on Instagram now. Can you follow me here? Get all your pages set up and then list them all. And then that way it's super easy. And they'll tell you if they're not on Instagram or they don't do YouTube or whatever, they'll let you know. But get all of your accounts set up, the ones that you are going to intentfully be on. And then that way it's easy for them to support you. And then further tips to build followers is, again, what I just said, you're going to be respectfully asking through private message. This is a much more authentic way to get people to help you out. And then taking it a step further is add friends of friends, past coworkers. So look to build your friends list. Think of your friends list on social media as sort of like your database. And I'm going to talk about a database in a minute in relation to social media. But again, if you've got 300 friends, you should set a weekly goal to add 100 more every week. Doesn't mean they might accept. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but the intention is there. But make sure you are adding people that you really want to interact with. Hold on, excuse me. So, and this goes back to being authentic. Don't add people just for the sake of getting business likes and followers. Don't do it. You're going to be building relationships. And I say this because this goes back to my previous class on networking on social media. You've got to be authentic, and it's about the relationship. It would be fake otherwise, and no good comes from being fake. So let's not go there. You want to be very intentful and authentic. So, and then here is my next tip in relation to that is don't invite these new contacts to like your page right away. We've all felt it, right? Have you just added somebody, friend of friend, you've added them, and then literally a second or two later, you get an invite to like their page? So let me say this, I will like their page because I want to be a good Facebooker. But the first thing that goes through my mind is you haven't provided any service to me yet, or I don't know you. So something to think about. I always say, make it about the relationship, and the likes and the followers will come naturally. And then there are some strategic things you can do to also build your page to get likes. And I've spoken about several of these things in past classes, but one thing is to have contests, have events, and to put them on your page as an event. So there's a lot of tips in my previous classes on this, but again, always be very authentic when adding people, and don't invite them to like your page right away. There's nothing is a big of turn off on social media. Well, there are a few other ones, but anyway, relationships with other agents. So this was something that I really listened to as part of one of Tom Ferry's sessions that he does with Jason Pantana, his social media guy. And they were talking about, build relationships with other agents on social media as well too. And I'll get into a minute why would you, but follow those agents that are killing it on social media, that got great content or doing it consistently. They're going to inspire you and raise your bar. Like and comment on their posts, because the algorithm loves that. Okay. So as you like and comment on posts, just like, it doesn't have to be an agent, it could be anybody. And we'll talk about commenting and liking, but the law of reciprocity also kicks in when you like and comment, especially with other agents. And I say that because they're out there just like you, wanting to build their page, right? So as you like and comment on their post, at some point, even if they are like, rock star status agents, and maybe they're only on 4 times a week, and they are super, you see them super busy, people notice. So trust me, And the more interaction, with them, the more interaction with you. So algorithms love interaction is my point. So why build relationships with other agents? Let's face it, we're all out there trying to grow our brand and our business. But if you see somebody posting impactful content that's inspiring, motivating, it builds camaraderie, as well as support, advice, and peer connections. Those things are all important. Hey, we're all, could be co-broking with them in a month. You know what I mean? So it's a great opportunity to connect with your peers, and you're going to be going to events. So it's nice to know people and nice to put a face to a face, right? So we have a great relationship on Facebook. Several of agents that I met at the Roar Awards were like, finally we meeting. And it's nice to put a face to a face. So, and then also there's potential potential opportunities for referrals and recruitment as well. So sharing content, you guys get some really cool content. You get it delivered through your email. And when I say you guys, I'm talking to the layer agents. You get customized dynamic pieces with suggested captions, hashtags, emojis, you get it all, and it's delivered to your email as well as to you by text. So I'm going to dare to say that everybody should be posting several of these pieces, but here's what they're designed to do. They're designed to save you time. So you're not sitting in front of Canva designing your pieces unless you choose to. Trust me, I get the creative. I have the creative bug myself, so I get it. And then also they build your online brand and professional credibility. So agents that post consistently, even if you're not getting maybe minimal to no likes on these posts, again, think about the amount of people that will come back to your page, your professional page, and check you out before contacting you, right? So when I say professional credibility, I'm talking about dynamic content. And all of these things are done for you and editable so that you can slip in your profile picture, your logo, your contact information, and it's set and go. And then also I recommend when you're sharing this content to check into locations and add an emotion whenever possible. We'll talk about all that in just a minute. But this is the golden nugget right here. And that is engaging with your audience, because I can tell you right now, you can schedule and post all the stuff you want on your social media. But very slowly over a period of time, you're going to notice the engagement is going to go down and down and down if you're not engaging with people. So when you're, in terms of really being purposeful with engagement, when you're time blocked, and I'm talking about you're sort of on your clock right now, and you're on social media to build your business. So you're being intentful. And I would recommend definitely have your CRM open while you're on social media being intentful for your business growth. As you're reacting and commenting on posts, because again, the algorithm loves this. And when I say the algorithm loves this, I mean that as people comment and react, and as you comment and react, your posts are going to be seen more. I mean, you've probably seen it firsthand. You know, you might say, oh, geez, I see a lot of Joe's posts a lot now. Well, that's because you or Joe were commenting and reacting to each other. Same thing goes for you. So if you see a birthday or an anniversary, make note of it in your CRM. And I say that because some people think, well, it's on Facebook or on Instagram, or well, on Facebook rather. Why would I make it in my CRM? Here's why. Because sometimes people deactivate their accounts, or sometimes they change their privacy settings. So look at Facebook specifically for these types of things as sort of like a database feeder. You know, it's feeding you information that is going to help you grow your business by way of making connections with people. So feed your database with this stuff too. And then you can even, make a social media list in your CRM. Okay, here are 5 types of content you should be creating to dominate your local real estate markets. All right. This is so important here. And this is something that I've honestly given a lot of thought myself as I'm growing my own brand, is show the real you. And I'll share this with you. When I was coming up with my own handle for my own social media, I initially had real estate results with Renee. And then I kept thinking about this a little deeper because I've heard Tom Ferry talk about it. I've heard Katie Lance talk about it. I've heard several people, I can't think of their names off the top of my head. People are connecting with you, right? They've got to know the real you. So you're going to be sharing time with family, dinner with friends, hobbies, passions, special projects, charities you support, even the goofy side. One of the agents on our team, Sarah Lewis, was doing her whole basement over. She's completely finishing her basement, and she's doing a whole series on it. So again, this is interesting to people, right? This is the real you. So by doing this, you relate to people in a more authentic way. So absolutely get over yourself. Pass over the discomfort hurdle and begin to show this stuff. Number 2 is be the knowledge broker. There are 2 different phases today's buyers are in. They're in the research phase and they're in the ready phase, as well as sellers. So let's talk about some video content suggestions. You want to talk about what mistakes buyers and sellers should avoid making in today's market. And what's happening? What are some trends that you know are happening in the local market? And can I just tell you something right now? If you're a new agent and you don't know what the trends are, ask somebody, they'll tell you. What's the update on rates? And you don't know, get a lender to talk to you on camera about these things. And then what are the top 5 things any buyer and seller needs to understand about various aspects throughout the process? So you could do a series of, the 6 major steps of buying a home, or etc. 5 major steps. And then be an expert in your local market. So this again talks about more like area based, not so much real estate based. So this is where you're going to be talking to local business owners, small business owners, your favorite restaurant owner, chat with government offices. Here's an idea that an agent in New Jersey did, and had a whole series of videos that she did where she interviewed somebody from the local library. How can we be better supporters of you, right? Tell me about some of the events that happen at the library. Talk about this, talk to the school principal about there might have been a recent string on bullying. So she went to the school principal and actually talked to her about, the philosophies and the practices at the school and how they're handling it. Fire chief, here are some tips right from the fire chief about how to maintain a safe home over the 4th of July with, fireworks and all. So, and then maybe some local charities, food banks and causes, etc. Another thing that you might want to have as part of this is special events going on in your town. Town days, tops of town event, where maybe, I know Tewksbury does this sort of thing where they have, it's a restaurant thing. So they have at the country club, they do all of the restaurants have tables set up, they rent tables and people come in and they vote on them. So it's pretty cool. Farmers market, seasonal fairs, book drives, craft fairs, everything. Anything to get you in front of local businesses and offices, and then showcase scenic sites. So does your town have a lake that's that people enjoy walking around? any special projects, redoing or reconstructing a local park or making improvements to roads, etc. These impact people. So people knowing that you know this stuff, you will be considered your local market expert. And new construction communities, huge opportunity for agents there. Humble brags, can't say it enough. Post accepted offers, signed PNSs, clear to close, sold, every single one of your reviews, and keep repurposing those reviews, but also paint a picture, provide an update as to what's happening on your transactions. So again, I'll go back to Sarah Lewis, who was on our marketing panel at the Roar Awards. She also did a whole start to finish with Kyle and Michelle, her clients who bought a home, I believe in New Hampshire. But she did it from the initial buyer consult and all the way from going to see homes, accepted offer, home inspection. She had the home inspector on with her all the way through. And then the closing day was just an awesome video. So I would definitely recommend that to me is, don't be afraid to ask your clients if they would be open to being part of this with you. And if they're not open to being on camera, would they mind you talking about them on camera? So, and then keep showing your audience that you're active and that you're great at what you do. And you can do that especially as a new agent, where maybe you don't have the accepted offers yet, the signed PNSs and all that. You will, but maybe you don't right now. So what do? You start previewing properties. You get in front of properties, you get on camera, and you, again, walk the property first, so you know what you're walking into, the lights are on, etc. But a great thing would even be to go live. But if that's not your cup of tea just yet, record a video. Can I give you a pro tip on this video though? Definitely, if you have high heels and there are hardwood floors, take off your heels because you don't want any distracting sounds on your video. And then be an epic storyteller. Don't just cite facts about, like, if you are going to talk about a transaction, my God, buying and selling a house. I've done it both, and I can tell you it's a highly emotional process. I don't think people really understand how emotional it is until they have gone through it. And you know what? I'll just say this too. If it's not super emotional for you and you've done it, that's okay. But don't think that it wouldn't be for somebody else just because it wasn't for you. So, but become an epic storyteller. And I had a previous session, I believe it was one of my first sessions that I did, and talked about the importance of being such a great storyteller and talking about the heartfelt emotions that went into the transaction or that are happening right now with your client. And so much is involved in buying and selling real estate. So you can't lack for content there. And number 5, behind the scenes. This is a great content idea that, again, shows what it's really like to be, an agent, a successful agent. So you could, for instance, be preparing for your day as you walk into the office, or maybe you're on your way to the office. Perhaps you want to give an update after a consultation. Hey, it's Renee Tompkins. I'm at the Lair office in Tewksbury. I just had an amazing first-time buyer consult with Jack and Jill Smith, and they are so excited to become homeowners, and I am beside myself with honor to even be helping them. So if you have any interest in becoming a homeowner, I would gladly love to chat with you about your goals and how I can help you achieve them. And then always end with your call to action and either a pre-designed exit screen or by letting them know how to get in touch with you. And then also you can do a team meeting if you're on a team. And then, but talk honestly about the late nights, the early mornings, and some of the hurdles that you've, jumped over as part of helping people achieve their goals. I mean, I've had agents, I've known agents, and I've done it myself, literally helping people move out, trying to get your sellers out on time at the final walkthrough. It's like, these are things that we do So talk about that. And these things totally make you more relatable and more admired, I would think. All right. And then in addition to the layer social media, you got to really commit to getting onto a weekly video schedule, right? And again, we'll talk, and I've talked about mindset for video. And I have a major kudos to give out, because I am seeing so many more people doing video, as a result of the Roar Awards and Tom Ferry, and perhaps maybe some of the sessions I have done. I am high-fiving so many of you right now. Brian Pereira is on out there. Jess Preventure, she has got some dynamic content. Sarah Lyman. I mean, a lot of the agents in the Athol hometown office are killing it on social media with their videos. Sarah Lewis, obviously from our team in Tewksbury, Bridget Diorio also, and Christine Yokin did our very first video. I mean, so again, and how do you feel once you've done it? I always hear the same thing over and over. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. There you have it. So here's a suggestion for your week. Monday, market update. Tuesday, get to know me. Wednesday, seller or buyer wisdom. Thursday, thankful for my clients. And again, these are just topics. Friday, featured home of the week. Saturday, small business Saturday. And then Sunday, maybe you do an open house, or maybe you do time with family or self-care Sunday. I'm big with my self-care Sundays. So whatever you do, though, make sure you can commit to it, right? So this is one video every day, but here's a tip: batch record. Don't feel like you have to glam up 7 days a week to do videos. And I would even venture to say, how about this? Don't glam up. That's more authentic, depending on what you're doing, right? Be the real, authentic you. But even a further tip, several agents do them in their car on the way to the office. They get their video out. So as they're getting ready, they decide quickly, what are they going to talk about? And they do it in the car. It's not about, well, I don't have the great background. I don't, it's not about that. It's about the content and getting it out. So there's that. All right. Some tactics to optimize every post. I don't know how I'm doing the time here. Use hashtags. People often search for and follow hashtags. You got to get on video. There's really, it's a must if you want to grow your business on social media. Here's another thing, is to use subtitles. 85% of videos watched on social media are viewed with the sound off. So get those subtitles. You can get them through Rev. You can get them through Big View if you're using a teleprompter. I think you can even get them right through your app. So, and then thumbnails. Use eye-catching thumbnails to with enticing video descriptions. Something like, you won't believe what happened at this closing. So people are more likely to watch it. And then alt text. Alt text is something that you can do when you edit something that's already been posted. So SEOs pick up on alt text, which helps you get more followers and viewers. You can add this by editing the post using your phone. So once a video or post has been posted, you go to edit, and then you'll see the add alt text. So these are just texts that are going to be used to describe the content in searches. So rules to strengthen your presence on social is to have a trailer video that automatically plays on your YouTube channel whenever someone visits it. You've seen them on the Lair Realty YouTube channels. And then I would feature the same video in the About Me section on your website. And by the way, if you don't have a website, again, that will go back to professional credibility. For $39 a month through Lair, you get your website, your Real Scout, and your Isaac CRM. There is no better deal. Definitely get that. Even if you only have time to deal with one at a time, still it's the same price either way. I would definitely get it. Sign up. And then the video should definitely invite people to reach out to you to talk about their goals. And again, put it on your About Me section on your website, but it should be also the trailer on your YouTube as well. And can I just say, this does not have to be professionally shot. Of course, it would look and sound better if it was, but it does not have to be. With the technology that's out there today with some of the new phones, get yourself a tripod, get yourself a ring light, and all available on Amazon, pretty cheap, and get to work on that. So here's another thing, playlists. Don't think playlists are that big of a deal, but here's why they are. YouTube channels with playlists actually get more views. And why is that? Because YouTube and Facebook, you can do it on Facebook as well too. Playlists really get people looking at your other videos. So you definitely want to have playlists on YouTube. And again, you can do this on Facebook as well. And especially where YouTube rates content by watch time, you want more video watches on your YouTube. So definitely create some playlists for your YouTubers. Location tags are huge. Mark your location every time you post. Decide where you want to be found. If you're farming and growing your business in specific areas, you got to check into those locations. Own your farm is what I say. On Instagram, there's an Explorer feed, which is location and hashtags based. But in terms of checking in, like if you want to grow your business in Westford, if you want to grow your business in Woburn or Wayland or wherever, check into those towns. It's a great day to be selling real estate in Woburn. And here's an interesting stat. Facebook Live videos have 4 times the watch rate than regular videos. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And there you can save them and you can put them on your YouTube. So I would recommend coming up with a game plan for Facebook Live. And if you're somebody that needs accountability because you're going to say, okay, I'll do it, and you might do it twice, if that, come up with a partner, go to a partner and say, I need you to do this with me, and come up with a game plan. If you're not on a team, you're solo agent and you just want the accountability, come up with a Facebook Live partner, somebody in your office, somebody in another office that has interest in doing this stuff that might need, dual accountability. But here's some ideas for going live on Facebook. They're all real estate related. One of them, if you're a little nervous about talking, is to read a recent article and then ask people what their thoughts are on it. So you're not really needing to come up with any content at all. You're reading the bones of the article, so to speak. But I will share a pro tip for you. On Facebook, you can set up a private group and practice going live there first. So the first time you go live is not on the feed wondering if you're live or what's happening. So it's good to get used to it behind the scenes first. And then always keep your branding and CTAs, call to actions, consistent. So introduce yourself at the beginning of every video. And I know some people, a lot of people don't. But the people that are consistently doing videos and are pros at videos, they do. And yep, we all know who you are, but it's, again, that name brand recognition that you want to reiterate to people. So it's Renee Tompkins with Layer Realty Partners today. I'm going to chat with you about at the end of your video. Thank you so much for watching. If you or anybody else is in need of expert assistance on please don't hesitate to message me. I'd love to help you. So always have an online open door policy is what I say. And again, this is for people who want to grow their business on social media. But when the people think of CTAs, calls to action, they think it's always about asking for business. But here's the thing, it's not. There are other ways that you can use call to actions. And those are to say, comment below, share your thoughts on this, tag a friend who needs to see this. What's your opinion on this? Give me your questions. What would you do in this situation? And then as you get their questions and their comments, this is giving you content for future videos. So it's an all-win situation with CTAs. Interactive stickers are also a fun way to, get people to respond to you and interact with you. And stories, the story feed definitely has more viewers now than the standard feed. So you want to definitely be posting it. And Layer, you wonderful Layer agents get the stories, and you're going to start seeing some reels in your, I want to say your late May, early June. Late June marketing. So you're going to start seeing some reels, and we have the customized Layer stickers, which are fun. And again, those increase viewership, but the interactive stickers really increase interaction. So I want to use those. And then I want to just talk briefly about comments and replies. Every time somebody takes a minute to respond to your post, comment, make sure you're interacting back with them, if nothing else, by just responding to their comment. That's the minimum. But you want to respond back. Thank you. I agree. Oh my gosh, this was great. Whatever it is. Algorithms, again, you want to be seen as pretend. Again, I always say, pretend your friends list is a room full of people that want to hear what you have to say. If somebody said something to you at a party, would you just walk by them? Maybe. I hope not, though, right? Because that would be rude. So you wouldn't do that on social media. So you would at least respond. And again, but to do this, you got to remember the key word here. It is a social network. So there's a person behind every single profile, right? So treat each post as a communication from that person. So don't just walk away from them in that party, so to speak. All right, here's another tip here. Using tags. This is not the same as hashtags. Hashtags you get, the Layer agents get as part of their social media marketing every week, but tags are words that describe the content and are used in searches. So you'll see tags. Like if you shop for an item online, some of the websites actually have the tags over to, like, say, the right side of the description of the product. You'll see it. Tags are used on Giphy. So tags are used especially on anything Google related. So and YouTube. So you want to be using tags whenever possible. And these are descriptive to the content, right? So this is what people will search by, but they will also search for hashtags as well if they do a specific hashtag search. So here are some scheduling tools that will help you automate your posts, but I got to tell you, don't use these to set it and forget it, and keyword being forget it. Social media, it's not just about putting out content, it's about the interaction. So yes, if you need help scheduling, I get that. We use a scheduler. So believe me when I say I totally understand it. But you have to also follow up and interact. Otherwise, whatever you post eventually, like I said earlier, you're going to see the interaction dwindle. Some of the social scheduling tools you could consider are Social Sprout, Sendable, Social Pilot, Hootsuite, Later, Post Planner, Plannable, Canva, and Meta Business Suite. The Canva and Meta Business Suite are available too. Although I think you have to be a pro user for Canva to get it. But these things, again, would be another business write-off. So get with your accountant and make sure you're in alignment with making the right purchases for your business. Things that save you money and time are definitely something you should consider. Posting times is really, you've got to be very in alignment, or very aware, I should say, with when you seem to get the most interaction on your posts. The upside is when you have a business page, the Meta Business Suite provides you, or those pages provide you with insights and analytics and insights, and you can see how many people you're reaching, but also how much interaction you're getting. Now, again, I will say this with take this as much as it means, meaning there are many posts that I'll make and I see that the interaction on it is very low. But that doesn't mean that people aren't coming to the page after the fact and just seeing what you're posting, potential clients, other co-brokes, etc. So take that for what it is. But you do want to, if your goal is to get the most out of every post, then you do want to be aware of the best times for you to post. And that could be Wednesday at 3, it could be Sunday at 7. So whatever those times are, take advantage of them. And then you might say, well, great, I'm not available. And that's where the schedulers will come in handy for you. So consider scheduling them out. But again, always following it up with interaction when you are on social. Here's another tip is leveraging UGC, which is user-generated content. And this is content that's already out there that you can share, meaning, if your favorite restaurant came out with a scrumptious new dish, share it, but tag them in your post, as well as, clients. Oh my gosh, this would be a golden ticket for you, right? Clients already bragging about you on social media. And then maybe a local fire chief's giving safety tips, share it. So again, another easy way to share content here. And then getting your highlights set up on Instagram is an easy thing to do. You simply, there's Google it, because there's easy to follow tips on how to set those up and how to add content to your highlights. But everything of importance that you want to show new visitors and even frequent visitors that make it easy for people to find your stuff should be saved to your highlights. Some content categories for highlights: listings, solds, happy clients, buyer, seller tips, events. Make it some business, make it some personal. Don't make it all about the business. Again, you are so much more than real estate, right? And people want the real you. So as I said earlier, when I was coming up with my own social handle, it was Real Estate Results with Renee. And then I decided to implement the Real Renee Tompkins, because I want to encompass so much more than real estate on my pages. So I would encourage you to do the same as well. And another tip, if you really want to get serious about growing your business on social media, is what is called pay to play. And that is boosting some of your posts and creating ads. And this will get you in front of more people. And definitely, I will say, you want to be strategic about what posts you want to boost. Do you always want to boost real estate? Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to boost some of your more personal, fun things, but also because you are a real estate business, you have to follow the guidelines. And Facebook Meta will let you know the guidelines for posting, because they will ask you a series of questions before creating an ad. They will see that you're a real estate business, so you do have to follow fair housing protocol, etc. But these, again, are write-offs for you, and it is fairly inexpensive to advertise on social media. I would say you get more bang for your buck on social media than you would by any magazine. Think about how many people are on social media. So best practices on social. So I've talked about this before. These are in some of my previous classes, but they do bear repeating. And that is, don't put anything on social media that you wouldn't want a client to know about you. So many people research agents, not just on Zillow, not just on Google. They'll stalk them out on social media, and because that's where the real agent is. So it gives them a feel for who they're going to be doing business with or who they're not going to be doing business with. So you are silently being interviewed by a lot of people on social media. Believe that when I tell you that. So avoid commenting and posting about politics, as tempting as it may be, depending on the time of year. Even commenting on other people's posts. Watch what you say on this. Sarcastic memes about the business and clients. Yes, maybe some other real estate people, oh, that's so funny, I get it. But other people are watching that stuff and maybe not appreciating it. So just consider that. Excessive alcohol, I would say stay away from it. Derogatory comments rather about other agents and brokerages, definitely don't go there. There's no need for it. And anything that might offend someone else. And I know that's a long list, so you might be thinking, okay, you know, am I on eggshells 24/7? No, certainly be yourself and be authentic and decide what you're okay with. But these are recommendations that I would make. And then certainly make it easy for people to connect with you and respond to all comments that you get. And here's another pro tip that I've mentioned before, is to go through your old photos. Especially if you're a new agent, change your privacy settings or delete any photos you wouldn't want prospective clients to see. Now, if your page is not public, then know your privacy settings, I guess is another tip that I would give you. And again, decide what you want out there. Update your contact information on all of your sites, including your current phone number, email, website, and get a Linktree. Linktree is a free website that offers, it makes it very easy for people to connect with you and find your content. And then, and that's what you want. You want it to make it easy for people to communicate with you. And I've got some mindsets for success. One, it's not about having time, it's about making time. So again, this is for people that want to grow your business on social media. And it's what I call a dedicated bucket of business building. This is a free opportunity for you to get business, but the cost, yes, is your time. So you've got to be intentful about it. And then another mindset is I embrace the fact that I'm growing and I may feel uncomfortable at first. Everything probably is uncomfortable at first if you're trying something new. A mindset that has helped me is people deserve the strong guidance I provide. I'm not bugging anybody. And if I'm bugging them, then they'll either let me know or they won't. But as I talk about real estate, I'm talking about something I'm passionate about. And I really want to help people and they deserve that. So again, keep that mindset. And then one that I cannot stress enough is done is better than perfect. I think so many people don't do video because they think, well, I don't have the right equipment. I don't have the right outfit. Stop it. Just get it done. And then I don't have to be amazing at the beginning. I just have to begin to be amazing. And that is 100% true. Everybody that has stepped out of their comfort zone or hasn't made a post because they're like, oh, I don't want to be too pushy or anything. Again, you're looking to grow your business, or maybe you're not. But if you are looking to really grow your business on social, then step outside of that mindset and really get comfortable being uncomfortable. So I have a recommended book for you this month. This is a social media marketing power mindset. And these are talks about advertising and how to maintain a very strong presence on social. So definitely recommend that. It's available on Amazon by Rory Ames Hyatt. So I have time for a video. This is, we're over time, Sergio. Are you good or no?
Yeah, we're good. No problem.
Okay. So I'm going to play a video by Katie Lance. If you don't know Katie Lance, you should follow her. Katie Lance Consulting. She speaks at a lot of the Inman conferences every year and Riz Media as well. And she is amazing. And all she teaches is social media. So you can sign up for a free newsletter right on her website, Katie Lance Consulting. You will get stuff every day, but it's amazing content. So definitely recommend you doing that. And Katie's going to talk about how to maximize video. So check this out.
One of the biggest reasons, one of the biggest business reasons to become, to get on video, long form and short form video is this: stand out in a sea of sameness. So let's get into first talking about long form video. We're going to talk about YouTube and Facebook Live, and then we're going to give you a few tips for short form video. I've been on YouTube for quite some time, but it was about 6 or 7 years ago I made the decision to go all in, and I decided to post a new video each and every week. It's the Get Social Smart show. We have since published about 300 videos, and I've learned a lot about YouTube over the years. There's a few things that make a really big difference. Number one, when I'm doing my videos, I make it a point to make sure I'm mentioning other videos. So if I'm doing a quick video about 3 ways to get your home ready for the market, or biggest mistakes every first-time home buyer makes, I will intentionally say, oh, and by the way, we have a video about X, Y, and Z. We'll link that below. Right? YouTube loves when you stay on YouTube. So as you build your content library, make sure you're mentioning your other videos and you're linking them below, as well as your title and description. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, so it's not time to get cutesy with your titles and description. Make sure it is detailed, you're specific about your market area and what it is you're talking about. Thumbnails matter, just like a great book. You walk through Barnes & Noble or maybe peruse Amazon, that book title, that cover is going to stand out to you, and it's the same thing with YouTube. So thumbnails matter. We love Canva for a lot of our thumbnails. And promote, promote, promote. I think there's this myth that you're gonna put videos on YouTube and you're gonna get a ton of traction. And you have to be your own best promoter. The other thing I think is really important with long form video is Facebook Live. Now, Facebook Live is nothing new. It's been around for quite some time. The first time you go live on Facebook, if any of you experience this, it's a little terrifying, right? You go live, you hit that go live button, and there's always that moment of like, am I? Yeah, you're live. We can all see you, right? And it doesn't matter if it's Facebook Live, Instagram Live, TikTok Live, we've all experienced that. But Facebook Live is a great opportunity to really show your expertise with long form video. So how do we get a lot of people? You promote it ahead of time. You tell people about it the day before and the morning before, an hour before. Share it out on social media, your stories, other platforms, email. You start right away. Isn't there nothing worse than a live video where someone's like, well, we're just gonna wait till more people show up. No, you just start right away, right? Engage your audience. You have to tell people what you want them to do. As silly as it sounds, it's super important. Promote the replay. Facebook Live, you can download, you can put on YouTube, you can repurpose. A lot of times we'll put it on our podcast, slice and dice it, and repurpose it in a lot of ways. Okay, short form video content. Be quick, we gotta get into it right away, right? We have to sort of take out the pause. A lot of times we're talking and there's that awkward pause. Have a hook, right? What's the most important thing that you want your audience to know? Start with that. Use captions. We want to make our content as user-friendly as possible. Hashtags do matter. Hashtags basically tell Instagram or TikTok or YouTube who should see your content, right? So hashtags are about what your content is and who you want to see it. Repost, repurpose, and at the end I'm going to share a few tips for how we repurpose and repost. Ultimately, lean into who you are and who you're not, right? We heard from so many great speakers today who said that exact same thing. You may not be everyone's cup of tea, and it's all good. When you put content like this out in the world, you'll start to run into people who say things like, I see you everywhere. I feel like I know you. I feel like you're in my head. And those kind of people, when they're ready to work with you, they're ready to work with you. They're not shopping around, calling 12 other realtors. No, they know you, or they think they know you. And now it's up to you to decide if you want to work with them. I promised I would share some of my favorite apps and tools. Look, I love social media, but social media is rented ground. They don't live in YouTube. Don't let your content just live in TikTok. Don't let your content just live in Instagram. Download it, save it. I've got it in Dropbox organized. Google Sheets is a great way to keep yourself organized, because if you're batching a lot of this content, which I highly recommend, heck, if I'm gonna do my hair and makeup and record one video, you better believe I'm gonna record 4 or 5. So Google Sheets is a way to keep me organized. What am I gonna talk about? Video Shop app, this is a great app for editing videos. Later.com is great for scheduling, and repurpose.io, this is a fairly new tool. If you're creating video on one platform, you can repurpose it seamlessly on multiple platforms. So you post to TikTok and it'll automatically post to Instagram, Facebook, or wherever you choose, which is really cool. I would just encourage you to not suffer from analysis paralysis. If you take away anything from what I'm talking about here today, take this down. Done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. Thank you so much.
So again, a lot of what we talked about is repurposing, reposting, again, for the reviews. Keep reposting that stuff, and done is better than perfect. I can't agree more than that. So amazing content there. Any questions for us today?
I don't see any questions on Facebook or Zoom so far. I think we're good.
All right. And so that is a wrap. Thank you for joining us for today's masterclass, and look forward to next one next month. Thank you.